Hachette Audio presents Matt Christopher's World Cup, read by Joshua Swanson.
Introduction. A game for the ages. In 1894, soccer was poised to join baseball, football, and basketball as one of the most popular sports in the United States. Everything pointed to its success. It had a set of standard rules, just like the others, and it had its own professional league, just like the others. The teams had access to newly constructed baseball stadiums, so finding big venues to play in wasn't a problem. And soccer had a widespread fan base, particularly among European immigrants setting up new lives in the United States. In their countries, soccer was king. In the United States, however, soccer sank into virtual oblivion while baseball, football, and basketball rose to greatness. Why? The answer seems to lie in the way the sport was handled. In Europe, soccer clubs were organized and managed by people who loved the game. Here, it was run by the baseball team owners who cared more about making money than they did about promoting soccer itself. When the first professional league failed to turn a profit, these men shut it down to focus on baseball. While soccer was fading far into the background of the American sports scene, it was spreading like wildfire in many other countries. In fact, it was well on its way to becoming what it is today, the most popular sport on the planet. The sport we call soccer and others call football was born on December 8, 1863, in Great Britain. On that day, a group of 11 English teams formed the London Football Association and published a set of rules by which the sport was to be played. Those rules were adopted by other countries in the coming decades, and while they have been modified since, they have remained essentially the same. Soccer's roots stretch thousands of years further back in time, however. The oldest known form of the game, Suchu, was played in ancient China as early as 2500 BC. 3,000 years later, the Japanese developed a different version of the game, called Kamari. That was a combination of modern-day hacky sack and soccer. The ancient Greeks competed in their own kicking game called episiros. The Romans adopted the Greek sport, which they renamed harpastum. Harpastum was very popular with Roman soldiers. They introduced it to the peoples they conquered during the expansion of the Roman Empire, including those living on the British Isles. The Brits took it right away, and soccer has been part of British culture in one form or another ever since. The rules set down by the London Football Association in 1863 were quickly accepted by other countries. Soon, soccer blossomed from a club sport into an international phenomenon. To help fuel the fire, 7 countries, France, Belgium, Denmark, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Spain, and Sweden, decided to create a governing organization for the sport. They founded the Fédération Internationale de Football Association, or FIFA, in Paris on May 21, 1904. Within the year, England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, Austria, Hungary, Germany, and Italy had joined FIFA as well. One of FIFA's first acts was to propose an annual championship tournament among the national teams. It wasn't a new idea. England and Scotland had played each other in just such a competition back in 1872. FIFA's tournament, however, would be on a much grander scale and therefore would, it was hoped, increase international interest in the sport even more. The proposal was met with great enthusiasm. The inaugural competition was set for 1906, but that competition never took place. It was canceled for one simple reason. None of the teams sent in applications. In the wake of such a colossal failure, the tournament idea was scrapped, to be revisited at a later date. As it turned out, that date was much, much later. The 1908 and 1912 Olympics were in part to blame for the delay. After all, the games included soccer matches between the best teams in the world, so why would another, very similar competition be necessary? Then, from 1914 to 1918, World War I threw many nations into utter chaos. After the war, the 1920 Olympics overshadowed all other international competitions. In 1924, however,